kind of garbage room with the hundreds and hundreds of skeletons in it, the first thing that hits you is just the stink of it, the very spicy, aggressive on your nostrils smell of the little bit of leftover sinew and ligaments and fat on the bones. Um, this appears to be, as you walk in, um, kind of like the finance office or the main office of this mining operation. As you come in and check the chest, they're broken open and empty. You can see some scratch marks. Looks like maybe some sharp goblin claws had dug in there, grabbing everything out. Probably the gold that was in there had been put into the pile. As you come over here, there are some old ink vials that are still there and a couple old books that have been, it looks like, rummaged through and then thrown back up on the shelf just out of the way without any care. And they're just documents about shipments coming in and out. And they all seem to be the last
Can I
one.
look at what kind of shipments come in and out? What they have annotated there?
Yes. So go ahead and just roll an investigation check for me.
Okay.
Probably human documentation from
For
before
sure.
it
I
was
just want to
opened.
know what kind of mine this is.
Yeah, we're all
Nice.
aware of what it is.
14.
So it looks like it's actually a pretty um what's the word? Diverse mine. There are copper shipments of raw copper ore going out, iron ore that has gone out. There is silver ore that has gone out, and there is nodes of sapphire that are found rarely and occasionally throughout the mine.
Peering her over her shoulder, I want to see can I see if there's look at the dates and kind of see how old when the mine was last in operation.
So the last date on the last shipment to have gone out was about, let me see what exactly what date it is. So November 25th of last year. So of
So it's actually pretty recent. All right. Hey, Calamity, if look at the shipments. Do you notice that if they seem to be shipping out less and less, or is it staying pretty steady?
Hmm. Do I notice a trend of like they had big booming? Is it pretty steady throughout and then abruptly stops?
so going back through their records, it seems like it was pretty steady and consistent for quite a few years. Shipments going from Yaren to Shadowdale and then disseminated from there. And then there was a spike in interest when the first recorded node of sapphires in the mine were annotated. And then very abruptly, like continuing that booming trend,
Mm-hmm.
very abruptly stopping
Hmm.
off. Not like a complete cliff, but a dramatic drop off in outgoing goods and requests. Seems like something happened within a few day period that completely shut everything down.
Okay.
So it's possible this mine is still productive.
Yeah. I wonder if the goblins are mining here. Okay.
I want to take a peek at this book that's open on the table and see if it has any notes or like a journal or something.
Yeah, that would be the most recent log of the shipments and everything. Last touched about 5.5 months ago.
Do any of the books laying around look like they might be some sort of journaling like incidents in the mine or something?
Go and make an investigation check for me.
9, 13.
So you do find not a journal, but in one of the cupboards over here, you find a stack of papers documenting some incident reports. You know, things like falls, accidents, things like that. But it's not anything seeming to be connected with goblins. It's all what you would assume to be, pretty standard mining, hazardous occupational stuff.
But going through them and looking at the dates closest to the possible closure, there's nothing that stands out.
Um, make an intelligence check for me.
15.
So it's not like concrete evidence, but you do notice there are fewer and fewer incidents reports closer and closer to the time that the mine was shut down.
Can I see if there's anything in this crate?
Yes, you may. As you open that, it appears to be some replacement mining heads, some oil cloths used to treat the handles of the pickaxes, things like that in there.
Gotcha.
Well,
Well,
since
shall
you
we
are,
move on to the next
I was
next
going to
room?
say, since you're a cleric, what do you think we should do with wait with the bodies?
Way to throw me under the bus, Seth. um,
I would like to pipe up
Boogie,
and
you watch as a goblin comes sprinting past you, hauling ass.
say that maybe we should tell the townspeople that their loved ones have been possibly found. Maybe. It definitely won't proctor good relations that we're trying with the goblins, though, so I don't know how well. But I don't think lying's a good answer either.
We could
So
cremate them.
as this is happening, a goblin is attempting to escape, running from the brooding chambers down. It looks to be one of the males, given the honor of breeding. He's sprinting as fast as he can towards that door. Boogie, are you going to use a reaction or no?
No.
Not even
And he runs up to
Document?
this door. He turns, looks at you with a panicked look in his eye. He's going to open the door. And he's going to turn to flee. And then he's going to run back.
How did he open it with my thief rope tying them closed?
good question.
So as he gets to the door, he's looking back in a panic and looking at Boogie, and he begins pulling on the door and tugging it stuck. And he turns back and looks, and he goes, "Let me go! Let me go, please!"
What's wrong?
I got. And he's just like stuttering and stammering over himself. You're wrong.
You're wrong.
He pulls out a dagger and begins.
Nope.
Um,
I freaking run right over there.
so he
Grab
pulls out
his
his
wrist.
dagger, turns over, and as you guys run over, grab his wrist. Ah! Go ahead and make a grappling check.
He's trying to kill
roll-
himself?
Contest me with an athletics.
No, I think he was trying to cut my rope.
Oh. Cal's like, nay.
Could I, while he's grappling, command my rope to untie and return to me?
24.
So he rolled a 7. Evidently they have a -1 strength.
Ouch.
So he's going to, as you wrap your hands around, pulling them to his back, you use your command word. The knot undoes itself, and he looks at you in a panic. No, 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 no! Please, just let me go! Let me go!
We're not trying to slaughter everybody. We're trying to proctor good relations here.
What happened there?
He turns and smells, looks down the hallway here of ash and burned and the gore that lies beyond the flame. Oh, is that so?
Yeah, well, show of force. You goblins don't like to just talk.
And he looks at you and doesn't say anything and looks away at the ground. Please, let me go. I'll do anything.
I'm gonna holler over my shoulder. What's he asking for?
He wants to
We
run
let
away from that
go.
chamber over there.
Well, I think he's running from us since we're near the chamber.
But doesn't he know that he's basically a free goblin now?
What? No, he's not.
I'm not.
How does
No.
he understand me? I don't speak goblin.
Are you
Oh.
speaking common? Because he speaks common.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm speaking common.
Mm,
N- no, he's not. I was thinking I would take the place of king in order to get them to do the rules that we want them to do.
Oh, you're the new king.
Yes.
Ah, my lord, I'm so sorry.
Can I roll an insight on if I can kind of tell what his alignment might be near?
Sure.
Oh, nice. 19 plus 6.
So this guy is speaking in common then.
Yeah, he's kind of going back and forth, like when addressing you, speaking in Goblin, and then when talking to the rest of the group, talking in or speaking Goblin to you and common to them.
Oh, I was speaking in Goblin to him,
Well, to Bezoit, he for sure spoke in common,
for sure.
and then so I mean, he
I
seems
know I don't
nervous.
have.
It seems like he's sweating a little bit. He does seem panicked, but he seems kind of like a regular run of the mill goblin.
Okay.
Maybe more of a, yeah. He just looks like a goblin. He just looks a little panicked right now. Very panicked, actually. His eyes keep glancing backwards towards the brooding chambers. You killed the booyaga.
Yes.
Oh, who's next? I gotta get out of here. Let me go. Let me go.
Is he speaking in goblin or common right
Yeah,
now?
right there. He was speaking in goblin.
Why are you trying to run? I asked that in common, actually.
He turns and looks at you. My king, the new booyak will be born soon. It's already started. We must go. One of the females will be chosen.
So she can be raised to be good.
Okay.
What? None. They're not good. Despicable little things. And then he
Where
covers his mouth and he goes, "Oh, don't tell her I said that."
where is this mother that's given birth?
The breeding chamber over here.
Is that where all that
Raping was going on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I said okay out loud, and I let go of his wrist.
He turns around and bows his head, snot kind of smearing onto the ground in front of him. My lord, may I please go, please?
Yes.
No killing people.
He scurries up to your feet. Oh, I will never forget your kindness, my king. Thank you so much. And he's gonna turn and kind of snarl at Clamacy quickly and run over to the door and open it.
Spread the word. There's a new rule:
Turns and looks.
not to kill any humans unless they attack first.
He nods with confused look on his face. Make a persuasion roll real quick for me, please.
16.
And you, okay.
And you what?
Although this wasn't exactly a request.
You want to make an intimidation roll with advantage, being the king?
Uh,
A 16 already worked. So he's going to look at you and nod and bow his head, still confused. Yes. Are you, if you mind me asking, sir, taking over the tribe?
yes, for now.
Your father, is he ill?
That's
Was that
my
said
own
in
business.
Goblin or Common?
That depends. Is Boogie speaking to him in Goblin or Common?
Wait, did you
Uh,
just go over there and open that door? Just straight
It's in
up?
Goblin.
No. I'm standing in front of the door. The door was opened.
Yeah, the goblin opened the door
Okay.
because I allowed him to.
No, not that door. The breeding room
No,
door.
the breeding room door. I did not open that door.
I think this goblin opened it as he was running from the new caster.
He looks at you for just a moment, waiting for an answer, and if you don't answer, he's going to turn and run as quickly as he
Wait,
can.
what was his question?
He asked you if you were taking over the tribe and if your father was ill, but by the way he asked ill, you kind of got the impression he's talking more like, did someone finally off the head kind of deal. But that's not uncommon in Goblin culture to take out the top and take over.
No, my father's fine.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it. He's gonna turn and run as fast as he can.
I wanted to ask if he knew who the lieutenants were and where they were located, or whatever the goblin ranking system is.
Do you want to yell for him as he runs away?
Let's
He already hissed at me. He doesn't respect me.
Okay, well, I can ask that of another one. So we need to figure out what we're going to do in the next couple minutes.
We need to go find out what's going on with this mama that's getting ready to give birth to the new evil being.
I don't know if it's inherently evil when born. I think this
Yeah.
culture just
Maybe just powerful
creates
only.
evil.
Do you guys understand exactly what a bug is, or bugaboo, whatever it is?
That was the name of the caster.
Balbara.
Is that a
booyag is whatever goblins call anything magical, scientific, things that they don't understand, things of great power and wonder is booyag. It's all booyag.
What would I've been taught about goblinoids back in school? Would I have been taught that they are, just in the sense that they're just all bad? This is our battle tactics against them. This is how you can
So
track them down.
yeah, go ahead and roll.
or we also taught that they had a societal structure.
Roll a history check for me, please.
Boom, 18 plus. I don't think I have any history. Nope, so 18.
So you recall goblins come in varying shapes and sizes. It's disputed. You recall quite a bit. It's disputed how goblins came about, but by and large, goblins themselves are separated into very, very rare civilized goblins. And civilized, I mean more lawful evil than chaotic evil. But by and large, more are like feral goblins, like kind of what you see here, are more on the primitive feral side. Then there are the step up, their cousins. There are bugbears. Bugbears are, like Boogie. They're large, very sneaky, very adept and powerful with brute force, but they're also pretty lazy and don't like to be bossed around. Above them, there are hobgoblins. Hobgoblins are the ones that basically run goblinoid civilization. They're the ones with the outposts. They are often in charge of, like, if things are going on, there's a hobgoblin behind the scenes or somewhere in the picture. Like, they have academies that they go to, like they actually have cities and stuff and their own like arcane arts colleges and stuff that hobgoblins attend. They're tucked away in uncivilized, wilderness areas, but they exist.
So does this seem like an organized group that might be being led by a hobgoblin?
Roll an investigation check.
6 plus 4, 10.
Maybe.
Okay. Emus is kind of mutter out loud. I remember some of my structures lessons about goblinoids. It's possible there might be something larger going on here besides them just living down here.
I have a feeling you are correct. I think this mine was taken over purposefully.
Yeah, that sounds right. So, what do you
Bazoid,
guys
real
think we
quick,
should do?
as you get down to this area, what are you doing? Are you peeping in? Are you just hiding behind the corner without them seeing you so you can smack them if they come out? What's your intent here?
I'm hiding behind this wall here so that if anybody comes out, I don't want to hit them, perhaps grab them.
Okay,
But
go ahead and
not-
make a stealth check, not at disadvantage because of your new armor. So just make a regular stealth check for me.
$13.
Okay, so as you come up and sit, what's your passive perception as you come against this wall?
+3.
I think into the hood. Emus, we're not taking a break because you thought it was not a good idea. We need to come up with what we do next.
Emus doesn't have a hood.
Emus doesn't hear any of that.
Oh, crap. Yeah. I had it in my head that everybody here and nobody else had the hood. But yeah, I guess
My total passive perception is 13, Michael.
It's just 4 of us.
So it sounds actually kind of quiet. You hear the whimpers of sounds like smaller goblins, and you hear this coming from within the chamber.
I'm going to say into the hood to Cal and Boogie, hey, I think there's some magic going on in here for that new baby being born. I think we should get in here.
Emus is just strolling up and says, "Hey, what you hiding from? Are there more in there?"
Shh. I think they're doing some magic in here, Emus. I think we need to get in there and intervene with that baby. Boogie, boogie.
What are you guys doing?
Oh,
Looking
now
out
that
the-
Emus can see what's going on, he's drawing his bow. Yeah.
I am preparing myself.
So as you come around this corner, it smells like this weird kind of frictiony, booty, kind of sweaty, gross sex smell in there. Like it's not pleasant. You see a bunch of these kids, these little children goblins that are born in these litters running around, a ton of hay that is like moldy and pretty gross with bodily fluids and all sorts of nasty stuff. Some flies in here. These rows of these female goblins protected by these men and breeders with clubs inside. Though from some of the bruises on the female women, it looks like they're not opposed to using the clubs on the women who fight back too much. It seems like the very pregnant goblins have kind of scurried away, and the children are all pushed back in this semicircle around this one female goblin now, whose stomach is, as you watch, almost seeming to grow as she mutters. There's like this nasty purpley vein coming up out of her green skin on her belly, and you can see her eyes rolled back in her head as she has her hands and like her back arched, her two hands rested on the hay behind her, and her head like sloshing, a little bit of foam coming out of her mouth as she as her eyes are rolled back in her head and her stomach grows and grows and grows.
I'm gonna look at Cal and say, is she speaking Goblin or is that magic?
Would I understand the difference?
What languages does everyone know? Let's start with Calamacy.
All right. I know Common, Elvish, Draconic, Orc, Goblin, and
Is there any language you don't know?
quite a few.
They are none of those languages. You don't recognize the tongue.
I couldn't tell you. It's nothing I know.
I speak Draconic, Common, Dwarfish, and Elfish.
It is none of the languages that you know.
Celestial, Dwarvish, Elvish, Halfling, Orc.
It is none of the languages that you know.
Boogie?
When I step into the room, do the guards, are they like walking towards me?
No, it currently appears like everyone is focused on this event happening.
Can you highlight which one it is so we know? Thank you.
As you walk up, the children turn and look at you and looking over at the head goblins over here. It seems like there's this odd moment of no one's really sure what to do. Everyone's kind of in this weird shared moment of surprise and shock and maybe a little bit of fear.
I'll say just a little bit louder than normal conversational tone. I am king. That's it.
Are you going to tell us what languages you speak so that we know if you understood that to be magic or...
No, Calamacy speaks all the languages I do.
all the same languages that you do?
Yeah, like if I speak a language, Calamacy understands it.
As you approach, the goblin currently under this effect is not answering or responsive to your presence at all. There's like a wince of pain on this goblin's face. When you say, "I am king," the children don't really understand, and the men too far maybe to hear, the women kind of turn and look at each other and don't say anything. And they just look a little perplexed.
Is there somebody speaking over her, or is she the one that's
She's
travailing?
literally, it looks like as if she was just one of the other females that was in here, and then all of a sudden this thing started happening to her, and everyone kind of like backed away from her.
So I would like to ask one of the women that is pregnant if she has always looked that way. Like, has she always carried the Booyaga spirit Or is it just taken upon her since we killed the last one?
No, stupid. Who carries the booyah spirit?
I don't know. That guy said that the new Booyog is about to be born.
Her face looks a little scared, and she turns and looks.
Oh, Barbara must have gotten herself killed.
Is she able to reincarnate?
She just turns, looks at you, and turns back and watches the possession.
Is there any way to? Can I just speak up from the back? Is there any way to stop this? In common.
They all kind of start muttering to themselves. Some of them not understanding what you said. Mainly the men understanding, but the women speaking more just in Goblin. They turn and look at you nervously and say,
There's no way you can stop it once it starts.
I'm gonna draw
Unless
my
we kill
bow.
her.
I was gonna say Emus is gonna draw his bow and point it at her and says, "I can stop it when it's over."
Who appointed you the new king, by the way?
he says, breaking the silence, and you see a bunch of goblins turn and look at him like, dude, the balls, are you serious? And then he kind of swallows and his eyes get wide and he kind of retreats back into himself slightly.
Why are we assuming that these
Okay.
guys are evil?
I
Not
take a
these
couple
guys,
steps
hold on.
towards that guy, and once he kind of steps down, then I'll just go back to what I was doing.
The second you turn around, he speaks up again.
Hey, you heard me, ugly.
This time inaudible.
I just killed Big One and Bulbaga.
He looks you up and down. Make an intimidation check.
Is he saying this in common?
I'd say it in common, yeah.
Mike, I need to run to the
But I don't
basement
know
real
if-
quick. I'll be
if
right
he-
back up.
Okay.
I don't know if he said it in Goblin.
Can I help Boogie give advantage on the intimidation check by doing something?
I'm gonna say for right now, you're kind of far away. It's kind of like his vision of you is blocked by Bezoit. It's just like he
Okay.
already said this. I want to know how he took what Boogie just said.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
That too.
He looks and turns and looks at the rest of you.
Yeah, maybe those people killed him for you, but you didn't fucking kill him, you piece of shit. You wouldn't stand a chance against Ezreal either.
And some of the other goblins start laughing, and you can see them kind of tossing the clubs in their hand, kind of gaining a little bit of courage. Not like tossing them up and down, but like kind of gripping them like a baseball bat, a hitter getting ready to go to plate kind of deal.
Oh, who's Ezreal?
Who's Ezreal, he says. This guy's the king.
And the other goblins laugh.
Boogie, I think you're blowing it.
What can I say? I'm not very intimidating.
You could
I'm
kill
just
him.
good
That'd
at
be pretty
killing.
intimidating. Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah, you get the feeling that these goblins are disrespecting you pretty heavily right now. And as you look around, it seems like some of the attention is shifting slightly from the possession happening and over towards what's going on over there. Even some of the females now turning and looking. It does look like the children, by the way, are already carrying sharp, sticks and all sorts of assortment of things. They don't look like necessarily harmless. The goblin in front of you puffs out his chest, looks over at his boys and says,
You know what? I think I'm the fucking king.
Let's fight then. The two of us.
Right now,
Yes, the two of us right now. I put my hand like straight onto his neck.
Would that be a grapple roll?
I'm not trying to actually grab him.
So you see this color kind of drain from his greenish skin, and he almost looks yellowish now. And the two goblins next to him go,
I'll go, Grugar. You've got him. Show him what you're worth.
and he turns and looks at you and swallows.
Right. Here. Just this way then. Let go and I'll lead the way.
And he's going to turn and come out the hallway, and he's going to bonus action disengage. And he just hauls ass away from you. Oh, you're just gonna let him go? Okay, so his friends turn as you walk in looking at you with a raised eyebrow. Their mouths hang open slightly and they shut up. They back up towards the wall. And it looks like they might try to dart given the opportunity.
You two can go if you want.
I guess I'm not understanding why we're letting all these goblins go when we haven't established any authority or anything.
I also do not fully understand why we're letting them go, and I don't think we should be.
You hear, oh, you don't speak Goblin, Nemus. Never mind, you don't hear it. You hear them whisper something mischievously to each other as they run out the door.
It feels like they're gonna go find Azul or whoever they just said.
Maybe they're going to try to run up to the town to do some nasty business while we're to us payback.
Yeah, freaking. This is incredibly frustrating, guys. Like, you're like, no, I don't want to do any planning. And then I do something, it's like, no, you're terrible. Like, come on.
All right, what are we doing, guys?
Freaking backseat driving.
Bazoi, Emus, Clamacy, what is everyone doing?
It's not backseat driving from what I see. Like, I'm all with what your plan is, Andrew. However, I don't understand why we're letting them all leave. Like, that kind of defeats your purpose as well. You've declared no authority, no dominion. You're just like, I'm the king, run away. I'm the king, go ahead, leave. What good does that do?
Okay, that's a good point. What would you suggest? And freaking. So this is so stupid. Like, we didn't have this conversation before we went over to all the goblins.
I didn't know there was all the goblins over here.
Well, from what I know, I was just listening to the outside and I was asking if it was magic or if anybody knew. You're the one that barged into the door. So if you wanted to
Yeah.
have a planning session, you could have done it then.
Well, I mean, freaking. What's his. Emus was also headed over here. Like, I wanted to have it way over at the cauldron. And I wanted to have it at the next room. Like, you don't freaking have a debate right outside a room where you're trying to sneak.
Okay, then why didn't you suggest it over at the cauldron? When we're saying, okay, what are we gonna do?
I did! I did it last session at the end. I did it this session at the beginning. And I guess I was pretty quiet in the last room. Because I just assumed that everybody had heard me.
So I have been just watching this lady because I'm not fully convinced that just because it might be the next Balbara that it's going to be evil.
And Nemus is posted up right by this door with his bow, ready to sink an arrow into anything that tries to rush us.
And I am over here by the door to prevent anybody else from escaping.
I would also like to, after we figure out what's going on with this possibly magical baby or what the heck's going on here, we need to go find the next person in charge and establish complete authority or fight people that we need to fight before we're overrun.
You guys hear down the hall. Ah! 3 bodies fall onto the ground.
Are those the
Uh,
3 goblins that just escaped?
Very possibly.
Emus is gonna come around and pop his head out and try to look for him.
Coming around the corner, holding their chest and bleeding slightly from the mouth, Agatha turns the corner with a limp.
Oh!
And she looks over at you. She's like, "Hey, you let 3 go this way." Winston in pain.
I'm gonna say, Emus, she got anything to heal her?
She looks a little bit worse than bloodied.
I'm gonna perform cure wounds. I'm gonna lay my hands on her and cure wound.
So who's all staying in the goblin chamber? Like, I need to know what's going on. Agatha is currently walking that way down the hallway, limping, holding on to her ribs. It looks like they got her a good clean time in the face. Her cheek is swollen up and blacked. Her one eye closed. She's got a bloodied lip, and it looks like they smacked her in the ribs a couple times. She's got a little over 12 health worth of damage done to her.
I've got to cure wounds, but it sounds like Bozoid's already using one, so I'll let her go first.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out and lay hands on her, do cure wounds.
Okay, go ahead and
I
cast your
can't
spell. And
I can't physically move my guy, Michael. I'm
Alright.
stirring food.
so you walk over. We'll get to that. Who's all staying in this room as you guys kind of back out? Are you guys kind of like stepping back, keeping your chest towards them, and just walking away from this thing going on?
No, Emus is standing in the doorway, so he can still see in.
Yeah, I didn't think it pertinent for me to stay surrounded by little stably minions. So I backed closer to the door, but still wanting to keep an eye on what's going on with that delivery. That looks supernatural.
So she's still this now. It almost sounds like she's starting to go into labor, and it looks like her stomach is growing at this exponential, like as if she's going from not being pregnant to having like a very large pregnancy. Her body is stretching, and it almost looks like she's probably gonna die. Like as this happens, with how big her stomach is getting, you start hearing these goblinoid
Oh.
screeches in pain. As her eyes roll back, you can see this almost like a tornado of this very thin, wispy black smoke funneling into her mouth as her head's tilted back.
Um, Can I run up? I almost feel like we should kill this thing before it comes out. That changed the whole description than what I originally thought. Emus,
Oh,
I think we
yes,
should
ma'am.
kill it.
I string my bow up and aim it and say, give the word.
The
Go.
goblin immediately to your right goes, and goblin, you would recognize him saying, "No!" And he rushes forward, but the goblin behind him actually grabs a hold of him and looks at him and goes,
Now, let her. It'll be better for everyone.
10,
And then Emus is
15,
gonna loose an arrow?
20. 25.
All right. Roll an attack roll at advantage as she's, just still stuck there.
First one was 13. Second one was 23.
I critted.
Coup de grace.
I rolled a
Coup de
19.
grace.
So are you attacking the pregnant goblin or the stomach?
Hmm. Honestly, I envision cutting off her head.
Okay. What about you, Emus?
Huh.
And I guess I'll sink arrows into her stomach.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Well, what am I supposed to do here?
No, it's fine. It's fine. Let me just mull this over for a second. Let me go check on my son, see how he's doing out in the yard, and go ahead and roll damage while I'm gone.
Okay.
I don't like that nervous
I
burp
don't-
you did.
Yeah. I just want to say that after I do cure wounds on Agatha, I'm gonna tell her to stay put and to catch any more that escape and ask her if she's good, and then I want to come stand at the door to make sure nobody else gets out.
I need you to roll your cure wounds.
On it.
Okay, I got it right
It's
down.
1d, so it's one spell that you're losing. It
Mhm.
is a 1d8 plus your spellcasting modifier, so your charisma.
Oh, jeez. I got a 7.
So as you place your spell on her in this radiant pulse of
I just crit again.
No.
Yes, I did.
So we'll roll that damage and then roll again. The healing magic heals most of her wounds. You see her ribs and her breathing become less and more. And then her face is still a little swollen, but it's way less bruised than it was. And with still kind of a one closed eye, she goes, "Thanks, B. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Maybe we should get over to Eunice and them now." Her cheeks kind of swollen, her mouth.
No, I think you should stay here. I don't think you should go in there.
Oh, yeah, sorry. My head kind of hurts. I'm just gonna rub
Yeah.
her cheek and walk down the.
You make sure no more goblins get out, though, Agatha. I'm counting on you.
She gives you a half-hearted thumbs up with it's either a wink or her eye just being still closed. Gives you a little click. You got it, buddy. So what's your guys' damage?
I can't wait to hear what Clemency did.
A lot. You go first.
I did 8.
And do you have an extra attack? Are you taking it?
No. Because I'm assuming I'm going to take my shot while Clemency's doing her thing. I'm going to see the savagery that Clemency's putting on right now and just kind of be taken aback. Kind of like, oh, okay.
Did you?
I'm still mathing.
Jesus Christ.
Because she doesn't have any creatures immediately around her, right? So I get my sneak attack damage. Because I don't require advantage, I just can't have creatures within 5 feet of her.
Yeah, everyone's more than 5 feet away.
Sweet. So
But it is advantage because she's on the ground anyway. So you could get
30 damage.
30 total with all the attacks.
Yep. Yeah, I rolled
So-
a lot of 1s for my damage.
So as you walk up, and unsheath your 2 swords, laying at the kind of like the tips sitting into the hay. This radiant flash through the darkness smacks into the stomach. She comes up lurching, blood spitting out of her mouth. It's kind of this purpley, her eyes come forward, looking very bloodshot. And then suddenly her head like spins on itself as your first slice comes through, her eyes looking down. Your second, you made 3 total attacks, right?
Yes.
Your second attack, cutting through the chest, begins like spilling out this gore. The third coming through, breaking the middle spine and busting out halfway through the womb, just under where the arrow was. And then her head falls backwards, rolling off with that final slice as her body splits into like this 3 like sliced fish looking, and then falls onto the floor in gore. And the black smoke sucks into her body, and then there's a as her womb deflates, and this like purple bloody gore and smoke begin spilling onto the ground and dissipating, and all the goblins back up, and one even pukes.
Oops. We were just being thorough.
Amos is just standing there wide-eyed at Clemency, a bit of fear in his eyes, you know.
You hear whispers,
Booyah.
I'm gonna go,
and they're crouching, both looking at like both of you, and now the walking in king. Very different aura in the room, like very, oh, these people are way stronger than we thought they were kind of vibe.
And don't
Alright.
you forget it.
King. King. He's the new king.
You hear throughout the crowd. And then you
What?
hear in Goblin some muttering, questioning his companion choice. Why humanoids kind of deal.
I would cockily say to make more treasure.
One of the males sits up, looks over and pops the other one in the chest with his elbow and smiles, and you can see this kind of gold band wrapped around one of his long teeth.
Oh, we like treasure.
I'm gonna thumbs up because I got nothing to say to that weird toothy grin.
He does look like he has on their leather, it looks like maybe some crayon markings, like maybe they had stolen some like utensils and stuff from the children during the raids and have been using it to kind of decorate their body armor and stuff.
I need to plan near the entrance. I say in common to the goblin over there in the corner. If this happens again, come out and let me know.
Yes, King. Where might I find you?
I'll be just at that door over there. I gesture kind of through the wall, like towards the big doors.
He looks at you cautiously.
And does Ezreal know?
This is the second time I'm hearing about Azrael. I've killed everybody that I thought that I had to kill in order to be king. Who's Azrael?
Ezreal's a labor boss. Mean, strict fuck at that. You didn't go right by him on your way down.
No, we snuck in. I didn't want to kill every goblin on the way.
Snuck in from where?
That's my business.
He
Let me
bows and
know
his
if this
eyes get
happens
wide like
again.
he overstepped, and he goes,
Yes, I'm sorry. Forgive me.
and he turns and looks kind of curiously at his friend, trying to figure out what's going on. Emus, you have just a bunch of goblins and wood children and kids kind of staring at you now. This pile of gore over here just laying there in a pile.
Black smoke substance that escaped from him. Did it dissipate?
Yeah, yep, it dissipated down into the hay.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of just walk up out the door, and I'm just gonna kind of lean up against the door frame and just kind of observing everyone.
As you come back, a lot of them are like covering their mouths, like not wanting to inhale any of the smoke that came out.
Yep, I'm just gonna stand guard at the door.
Okay. Boogie,
That's fair.
Bezoit, Calamacy, what are y'all up to? Agatha looks at you guys, cocks one eye up, like, what's going on now?
Well, we wanted to plan on what our next move is. It sounds like we're gonna need to work with Azul, but
You hear more dogs barking now that the door is open. They seem louder, and now there's about quite a few of them going.
oh man,
Does the
We're,
king also control those mutts?
if they recognize me as king, yes. Yes, I think so. There's a possibility that we'll have to kill Azrael also.
maybe he's willing to make a deal to survive, and we can use his power and leadership to our advantage.
Ezreal does strike you as an odd name for if it was for a goblin.
Oh, yeah, that sounds awesome. I definitely want to negotiate if that's an option. And besides that, we need to figure out a good stance to have towards goblins. I saw you guys wincing over there when I released goblins.
Yes, only because I am worried that they are not fully under our control yet, and that they are either going to go get assistance to get us killed, or they're going to somehow escape to town and do something to the townspeople that may be in the immediate area. Like, I'm not wanting to kill them all, but I'm also not wanting just to release them willy-nilly before we know the layout of this place and how many are actually here.
So you think we should keep them
Makes sense.
prisoners? Agatha says.
What'd you say?
So you think we should keep them prisoners?
No, I don't think necessarily prisoners.
My understanding is that the king is only king as long as he can maintain the threat.
Yeah, that's my understanding too. But with them keep bringing up, does Azul know? Was he maybe the big guy and we just mistook the other guy as the big guy because he was the first big guy we saw?
Hey, I'm gonna go poke my head out and make sure there's aren't a bunch of warg rioters ready to bust through this door over here.
As you
Yeah.
head out, one of the men come by quickly and not like aggressively, but like reaches out, grabs hold of the door, and just slowly shuts it, kind of with a fearful look on his face.
Wouldn't they have called Azrael the big guy? Because that's what they were
Ezreal.
calling him. Azrael, the big guy, because that's what they were calling him in the beginning, if it was the same person.
Well, maybe, unless they use it interchangeably and maybe they were a lower rank so they didn't call him Azul and this big guy.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I betcha that we already killed Big Guy. But yeah, he's I would definitely rather have him alive if we can.
You think maybe we should separate the males from the females? Agatha says.
I think that could be good. We don't need them breeding right now.
She kind of looks at you. You plan to force them to breed in the future?
No. No. But they consider it breeding what they're doing currently. So we would word it as we don't need them breeding currently.
Oh, so it's worded that way for their benefit.
Yes.
I understand. Sorry.
It's okay.
Hey, Bezoit, she yells down the hall.
Yeah, what's up?
We're gonna separate the men from the women.
Where do you want me to put the men?
Oh. And she looks over at Bezoit, kind of embarrassed and awkward about having to ask this. Should we remove the children from the women too? And looks at you almost like it's a cultural thing, like you know, what's the call here?
And I look over at Clamacy and Boogie, because I don't know.
Yeah, that's a very good question. And I don't even know where we would separate them all. Because the
Could
other
we
room
put,
was the treasure room, and I'm not willing to let them know just yet that there's no treasure.
well, can we put them in the room with all the bodies?
The children?
I mean, that's like considered their trash room. Like, I don't know.
It
Emis,
needs
as you
to
come
be
out, roll a
colder in
perception
real
check for
life
me.
in here. This whole thing is
A mess.
yeah.
What do you think,
It
Boogie?
needs what? It needs what? Cooler?
In real life, I'm gonna adjust the AC.
11.
You can hear coming from deeper within the areas that you have not yet been of the mine. Though not seeming to approach closer, you hear what sounds like quite a few wargs being riled up.
Okay, I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna go back to everyone. I'm like, hey, I think they're mounting up and getting ready. We should probably do something about them.
Yeah.
I'm going to wave my hands and go, remember me? What do you guys want me to do?
I think for right now, we're going to have to leave the women and children and men all together and worry about this immediate problem of warriors coming towards us.
I'll stay
Well,
and
I'm
make sure
going to
they
walk.
don't touch them.
Who says that, Agatha?
Yeah, and she storms off to the room.
I'm going to open the door and say, under the orders of the king, there is no need for breeding at this point. Is that understood?
There's silence, and Agatha waves her hand and asks you to step aside. Are you gonna step aside?
Yeah.
She walks forward and, with authority, kicks the door, and it goes flying open. And she's gonna come in and say, "All right, listen up, you fucks!" And the door slams behind her with some kind of pool of force, slamming shut. And you hear her kind of go on a tirade in common about no one's going to be touching anyone, like telling them, "You guys get on that side of the room, you guys on this side of the room, everyone step aside away from each other," kind of deal. Though it's slightly muffled through the door. And from the sound of screeches and booyog it seems like she might be doing something to kind of intimidate them.
Can I open the door?
Your mic's off.
Maybe we should just have the men give us their weapons, so it's just less. Well, I don't know. We could believe in her. I'm just worried because she's hurt.
What are you gonna do? You gonna trust her? Or you gonna go in there?
I'll trust her. She wasn't warned that there was 3 people coming down the hallway towards her. And that's why it didn't go as well. I believe, at least.
Am I able to?
Sorry, Mom. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, am I able to open the door?
Do you want to?
Yeah, but I was gonna be encouraging to Agatha when I do.
Give me a second. So as you enter or open the room, you see what appears to be about a 20-foot tall, touching the ceiling, scraping, flames licking all over this figure. It's a humanoid figure with 2 arms and legs and a head, but it's complete fire. And like there's this monstrous roar coming from this creature, and standing behind it is Agatha with her hand, like her arms crossed sideways, like kind of hip out to the side confidently, yelling out orders. And all the goblins are in terror looking at this image that's like taunting and flaunting them, though you notice that none of the hay is catching on fire as it's beckoning orders, and they all are scurrying into their respective areas.
At this sight, I decide better against saying anything at all, and I slowly and quietly shut the door. All right, Gal, what are we doing?
I am saying Agatha had her hood up last time I saw her, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I would just say into the hood, let us know if you need anything. I'll have my hood up.
She doesn't respond.
That's okay. I wasn't expecting a response.
What's up, Boogie?
I don't like being the leader, but I think I have to be here.
I know the pain. I didn't want to be captain.
It seems like Agatha enjoys it. All right, what's the group doing? You guys hear this yipping and yapping. Almost now seeming like, I don't know, it sounds like a demented version of like a bunch of healers excited to go outside, like excited yips. And
I think we should head out and deal with whatever that is. If you guys are okay with it, I'll go out there and post myself up to drop a few before they can get close to the bridge if they come this way.
Bazoy, you understand that you are significantly sturdier than me, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Please don't hide behind me next time.
Don't hide behind you when?
As a human meat shield, don't use him as is what he's asking.
Oh, well, I'm only thinking that I'm more stout than you right now because you're not fully recovered.
Oh, no, not at all. Like, so this is player talk? I've got
Mhm.
70 maximum hit points, and I've got an AC of 16.
Okay, I have 79 maximum hit points, AC of 20.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I'm
you're
not.
way
An
harder to
ordinary
hit.
person would only hit you on a crit.
Okay.
All right, party. Dum-dum-dum, ba-da-bum-bum,
Emus is moving
ba-da-bum-bum.
out to post himself up in the side of the bridge in case something starts coming our way. I love my sassy diagonal walk with my wings. Swish, 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 swish.
As you begin walking your guys' way out, you hear a response from Agatha, and she says, "Yeah, gotcha. Sorry. Actually, could you say it one more time? I was concentrating on a spell."
Yeah, I just want to let you know that if you needed anything, please say it through the hood to let us know, and I'll have my hood up to be able to run back to you.
Wait,
We're
are you
about
guys
to do
going?
another
Are you
fight.
guys? Are you guys going far
Probably.
away?
At least to the bridge. We have some dog sounds coming our way. We want to head that off before we're cornered.
Okay. 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 I got this. I got it. You're good. I got it. You're good. I got it.
Okay. If anything feels shifty, just let me know.
No, I got it. I got it. You're good.
That doesn't sound good.
I got it.
Okay.
Come on.
I love you.
Move it to your mom. And then it goes silent.
Yeah. I was just gonna let that be.
All right, guys. What's the party doing other than
Okay,
scraping ceramic?
I'm gonna go over here, and I'm just gonna start making my way towards the sounds until I catch sight of another creature.
So as you come up,
Jeez.
you see. Go ahead and make perception rolls. Is everyone marching together? What's going on?
I definitely want to be center pack.
You definitely want to be what?
I
Enter
want to be
pack.
in the meat shield. Is what he's saying. I don't want to be the meat shield. I want to be in the meat shield. I'm a
What do you think
Pareto
about
of
that?
safety.
Like
I'm gonna say into the hood.
I'm built to protect people, but
Cal, are
not
you
to
saying?
be the freaking center. Like everything hits me. In fact,
Every single
unfortunately, I'm the
time,
squishiest out of the whole party right now.
every time we've had a battle, I've been the meat shield, dude.
Are you staying back at the
Do you
bridge?
remember a fight where I was not bloodied?
At the moment, yeah.
Do you remember a fight that I wasn't bloodied?
All right. So go ahead and roll a perception check, Seth.
I did. I got 17.
As you come up, you can see posted up at the corner in the distance, it appears to be some kind of green and yellow eyes peeping back at you and back, and then back at you and back. To the right, there appears to be kind of like a bedded area, and then quite a few bit of pickaxes against the wall here, kind of laid haphazardly and and yeah. But there's more hay in this area, though no one in this area. With the collapse on the rail here, it actually looks like the collapse landed on one of the carts in this area.
I wish we had a recording of previous fights because like I'm
Guys, let's just
convinced
drop
I've
it. It's
taken the most
fine.
damage by far
Guys,
of the
guys,
group.
we're way hung up on this. Let's move past it. He's
I
not the
He's
face tank of the
off.
ship. Of the part.
Calamitsy's like back at the bridge.
Emus is
I think
moving
that's
up.
a good idea so that she can go back and help Agatha if need be. The three of us should be able to handle dogs, right?
And another boss?
Well, I have the hood on. I can holler.
They're not dogs. They're warg riders. They're big creatures that we fought earlier. They can be quite scary. First off, second off, there is a possibility of there being another BBG over here who's like commanding the warg rider part of the goblin army. I really think we should move up as a group. Let Agatha babysit the other goblins for now, and then let's go conquer the warg riders so we don't have to worry about them.
So
And
I want you
Without-
guys, because I feel like you would know this. You guys in school would have learned that generally, goblins infest things in like very very thick numbers. The way that you guys came, um, you get the feeling was not the main route meant to be taken in here, and that is more of a backdoor. The meat and potatoes of basically, I feel like you would have a general vibe as a character that you haven't faced nearly as many goblins at this point as you would expect to be infesting a mine if they were infesting a mine.
And that's my problem. I think that without Agatha, we would have been much worse off in our last battle. So I think that we should all move up as a group, but then what do we do except for to trust them not to procreate like I ordered them to, per the king?
why doesn't the king order them to follow us and start using his people?
Because nobody thought of that until just now, play or talk.
No, it's not the first time I've thought of it.
First time
But
that
it's
you
the first
said it.
time you said it.
I mean, I thought it's pretty obvious if Boogie's the king, he can command the goblins in there, right? That's kind of how that works.
So
yeah,
the hurdle there would just be ensuring that they know and believe that he is the king.
Yeah, and the fact that if they decided that they would be on the winning side opposite of us, they could turn on us and now they're in our group.
Yeah, because it's not like he's walking in here with like a legitimate claim from like orders of some nobility society, and he's like, "Hey, just to
Right,
let you know, I am your leader." He's like, this is
yeah, I
he's
get it. Totally,
usurping the yeah.
I understand. I just think that they might be a little hesitant to not leave the claim with their previous powerful masters dead and rotting in the room next to them, and the fact that Calamacy literally just exploded one because she felt like it.
Yeah, but do they know that? Do you have any proof of any of that?
That what?
I know that they were in sheer terror over what Agatha could do.
No,
I'm
I'm
not
talking about the other goblins deeper within. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about the
No.
ones that we
Oh,
met in the
okay.
rooms. Have them come with us.
Oh, I
And
see.
yeah. No, nothing about the goblins we're about to meet.
Yeah, I was following Seth.
Thank you.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you guys want to do?
No,
I think we should just
talk
leave
about
them.
it. It didn't really occur to me.
I think we should just leave them. I told them that the king said that they weren't allowed to
As they see you getting closer,
breed.
Emus, you see them running back further in, chirping and yelling and hollering something in Goblin.
I think we need Agatha.
Do you think you need me and Calamacy?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because I'm hanging back here.
But why would the king hide in the back? How much health did you get restored to you?
I have 50 health. 53 specifically. So I'm doing pretty good. I mean, if I started a normal fight now, I would die because, generally speaking, I take about 3/4 of my health every fight. Additionally, we don't have any heals left.
I do. I've got 4 healing slots left.
Do you maybe want to use those on Boogie?
Yeah, if he'd move up here and let me know that he's still hurt and would like some healing, I would happily heal him.
So, okay.
They ran off deeper. You can hear them yelling, and it seems like others responding. And then something wood and metal dropping on stone. You hear some metal scraping, and then foot paws running off.
Emus is standing on the side of the bridge, kind of staring back at everyone like, are we going? What's
Yeah,
happening?
so I want to ask Agatha if she's able to leave, like, that fire figure she had in there as like an intimidation to follow what we said and come with us, or if she had to fight, if that would drop it.
I just want to reiterate too that my aid is still in action. It lasts for 8 hours. We've not been down here for 8 hours, so
Cool. So once we actually get within 30 feet of you, right?
I can only get about 100,
yes.
maybe 120 feet away, and it only lasts about 10 minutes. I already dropped it. They're doing as I wanted, but right now they're afraid of me.
Okay. My only concern is we're thinking on going deeper, and I don't want to get that far away that it's going to take me too long to sprint to you before something happens.
No, yeah, if you're leaving far, I don't believe me. I don't want to be too far from you.
Yeah, I would feel more comfortable, though I don't want them to do anything nasty. I would rather you be safe with us than left behind in this den.
And then there's a pause.
And
And she
I'm going to say
says,
into the hood as she pauses, and I ain't going to lie, Agatha, I think we need you.
"Do you guys think we need them?" I mean, you saw it.
Yeah. I'm not
Oh.
I'm not sure.
But I don't think I could do the kids, if I'm honest.
I wouldn't want you to. I think that's a decision we can make once we have total control of this area.
I'm gonna lock up this room then.
I
Give
think
me
that's a
like
good idea.
10 minutes. I'm gonna move some things around and just
All right. Once I
Emus,
have
come on
that
back.
information, I'm going to signal to Emus 10 minutes. Agatha's coming. However, I do that with hand signals. Caw-caw, caw-caw.
Hearing Boogie cry out, I start walking back. Yeah, what's up? I'm gonna kind of holler across the way.
Oh, I'm gonna stomp my foot. Like, I wanted to be cool and use hand signals.
Sorry.
Well, to be fair, I was responding to Boogie, not to your hand signal, so.
Yeah, I know.
Let's
That
go
was the
forward
whole.
as a group.
And I kind of just like shrug. Well, yeah, duh, I'm waiting for you guys.
No, Agatha's gonna take another few minutes.
Emus is gonna kind of take a deep breath. All right, and he's gonna pull his bow out, and he's gonna start testing his bowstring, make sure it's all tight in place. He's gonna take a quick practice shot at one of the lanterns on the wall.
roll and attack roll.
23.
So as you pull back, straight through, like coming through and then just kissing the flame. So it's like this shattered glass straight hole. The flame is extinguished, shattered hole on the outside, like this perfect kind of 1 in a million shot.
Emus is gonna look pleased with himself and satisfied. He stands watch.
So Agatha's gonna say, "All right, just give me a little bit. I'm separating. I'm putting the kids with the men, and then I'm gonna separate the women, and then I'm just gonna lock them up. Okay?"
Okay. Boogie, do you want to go get healed by Emus while we wait for Agatha? And then we'll all move as a group?
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
There we go. We'll learn to be a team, guys. It's not gonna happen overnight. We got this.
Like this. Pretty much this is our only time really having any trouble.
Yeah. And it's a lot of going on politically and fighting wise. Like there's just a
Yeah.
lot of possibilities. It's just high
And you're
stress
going
right
to
now.
get your wires crossed if you don't plan ahead.
Yes.
So, Emus, I think it would be helpful to get some more healing.
Oh, you still not feeling great, Boogie? I'm gonna kind of look him up and down. It's kind of hard to tell through all your hair.
Oh wait, so this is out of character. Boogie is not furry like a bear. He it's more like a dude that's real hairy.
Okay.
Like, maybe not the very hairiest person alive, but like a really hairy guy. But
So you get
Yeah.
9 hit points from me.
Agatha runs
Okay.
up and she says,
yeah, I'd be happy with that. The 9 hit points, that puts me at 63 out of 70.
Agatha runs up. Oh, are you burned, Boogie? I got some salve.
62.
I got some salve. You want some?
Let me think kind of out of character. I don't think were the bombs fire damage?
Yeah, some of them. Yeah.
In that case,
Yeah.
I'm burnt. I will take some salve too.
Yeah, I got burned.
Medicine's not her forte. She's gonna pull out the salve and rub it and lather it up, and it stings, but unfortunately doesn't actually heal any health for both of you. And she's gonna smile and nod. That ought to do it.
It'll help with scarring, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
I
So
gotta
we
say,
just
it does
stick to-
feel better. Takes the pain away.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, that's something.
Less crackly skin. There you go.
I did use one of my most powerful spells last fight, just so we're aware. So I'm not 100%, but I still got some fight left.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd really be helpful if we could rest some. But
She looks back. Should we just go back to town, you think? Like, that sounds like a mess back there. Have you guys done this before?
I did consider going back to town,
Mm-hmm.
resting, and then coming back.
Mm-hmm.
It would be nice to regroup.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's do
Okay.
that then.
I would be fine with that. I'm sure that. Well, not 100% fine. It'd be great if we had a way to sneak back in.
Well,
But
hopefully not all of them know about that entrance we took.
how about we take a female with us to town, so that at least on our way back we can get some more knowledge about this whole area.
But I thought the females were the lesser sex, and they didn't know as much. They can't even speak common.
Well, we could bring one of each gender.
I don't think it's a fully great idea to be bringing goblins just yet.
I
So,
agree.
Right now, oh, it'd be nice to know everything that they know, and also it'd be really nice to go rest.
There's a
I ag-
scraping sound of like metallic wheels on rails pushing and footsteps and the scraping of metal, and it sounds like it's getting further away.
I agree with you, Boogie, but I really don't think that the breeding watchers are going to be our best bet in giving us information. I think that we'll need to go higher up, and I'm kind of concerned about going further in the grave or into the cave because you know that they like to do be together in mass numbers.
Well, so it's not like I need to know everything about the decision-making structure. I'm just wanting to know exactly who the bosses are. I mean, at this point, I think that I am legitimately king. We just have to actually make that happen.
Right, and they've already told us that the guard supervisor is the next one. So we already have that information. I say we rest and come back. What's everybody else's vote?
We can go back, formulate a plan of how, when we come back, we interact with them.
Cal? Agatha?
I
If
agree.
nobody else wants to bring the goblin, then I guess I'll leave it, and we can get the knowledge after.
What knowledge
After
are
we
you
come back.
hoping to gain?
If I were king, they would expect me to know about the goblins already. Where if I can at least talk with somebody, I can understand the culture better. Like, besides that, I am also curious if there's anything that the humans would be able to trade to goblins, or vice versa.
It might be reassuring for us to take a prisoner, or one of them, as under the guise as a prisoner, back to town to prove to the townspeople that we're doing what we said we would.
Now would be the ideal time to bring somebody.
You know what?
Because we
I
can do
think
it
I'm
without
swayed.
we can do it without any fighting, and it would be entirely legitimate.
You know what? I don't think that's a terrible idea.
Great. Let's so a male and a female, or just a female?
So
Either way, let's start going. So we can still talk, kind of theater of mind, like we're going back over, and then we're gonna leave the way we came.
So I just need to know, as you guys walk over, Agatha had locked the main door, and then she put the men and children into the first door where the old office was and the bones, and then she left the women separated inside the hay birthing area kind of deal.
Oh, okay. So that'll be really relevant for what person we get.
So yeah, so I need
So
to
now
know.
we're taking a person?
I also think it would be good to get a newborn.
I don't know if we're taking a person or not. I was just able to be convinced that I think it's a good idea to take one. I think we're split down the middle right now.
What?
What is Agatha's vote?
So it's not even a prisoner. It's ordering somebody to come and freaking.
She wants to grab one.
But okay, but it's about the appearances we have to put on back at the town too. They have
Right.
they're
Yeah. So at this point, it's about ordering, but when we get back to town, then that's a second decision, and we can. As far as I'm concerned, we cross that bridge. Not right the second that we get to it, but like there's a lot to learn from this goblin, and we gotta get out of here.
I think a male might be best, just one for now. Maybe one child, that with maybe a really young child. But I would almost say a brand new kit, or whatever you call a brand new goblin, fresh out of the womb, would be best. Zero
Okay.
corruption has started to affect the baby at that point.
Yeah, that sounds great to me. One male, one newborn. Everybody agree?
Agatha nods.
sounds good to me.
Cool. Okay, so we well, do we need to role play? I guess, like, are we locking them back up?
Who's walking into? Because they're currently locked up.
We do need to roleplay.
Yes. Oh, you don't like role playing?
So,
So Agatha comes up and undoes some lashing that she had done on this door and opens it.
actually, we do need to think about what we do for these rooms. It'd be kind of a weird thing for the king to lock up their people.
I don't think it's that weird, Agatha says. I mean, if you're a king invading another country, you're going to lock up the people until you know they're loyal, right?
Oh, yeah, that's a great explanation. Let's go with that.
All right, dork. Come on. This is why I put the men and the children. I couldn't really tell between the boys and the girls, so I just put them all in here.
Oh, so was there any newborn?
A couple of the women looked ready to pop, but I didn't see any like freshborns. There were some that were pretty young, like maybe a week or two. I don't know. I don't know how fast you guys grow. Her
Yeah.
hands on the door. Should I? Shall I? Shall I open it?
Let me handle this.
Okay, and she's gonna wave her hand, and you see a piece of wood that's jammed, preventing the door from opening. That's wedged there with some kind of rigid, seeming force of magic. Relaxes, and the wood falls as she steps aside. The door comes swinging open. You see the kids running around. One of the goblins yelling at the children, "Hey, shut up, you pigeons!" And then another one going, "Hey, it's him." And they all turn and kind of look at you cautiously.
Wait.
And you hear one
So-
bark up,
Where's the flame witch?
She's outside the door.
Evil,
You.
that one.
I point to the one on the right.
Oh,
Come with us. And then I point towards the door.
Oh.
Which
And
one
then
did you ask for?
That one that's moving towards the door. And then I look over to the children. I look for the shortest one.
okay.
I'll move, kind of
There's
assuming
one-
this goblin is going to move out of my way.
There's one that's sitting there, kind of half dazed out, very young, head kind of just bouncing off the wooden leg here as one of the goblins kind of pushes his head and laughs at the noise and makes like boom. Boom.
What the fuck?
You.
To the one pushing or the one sitting?
The one sitting.
He looks up at you, turns and looks at the other one.
I grab him.
The little one?
Yep.
You scoop him up, kind of blocking another push for his head as he picks him up. And he looks up at you and goes,
Hmm.
and looks at you just curiously. As you guys are outside in the hall.
Wait. I am wanting to make sure that body language is saying that I'm in control. Like the kid is coming along without any sort of fight, right?
Yeah, he's kind of just staring up at you. You just saved him from getting his head beat against
Okay,
the
cool.
wood.
Yeah,
Are
yeah.
you trying to intimidate, or are you trying to like put on a performance?
Neither. I just grabbed him and started forcing him to.
Okay, I thought you meant your aura or perception to the other goblins in the room. Is what I thought you meant.
So, when I was talking about the body language, I was meaning like when I walked through this goblin's square, like I was assuming that he would move out of my way. And
As you're walking away, one does speak up though and say,
Hey, new boss.
yes.
and he comes up from the back.
Are you leaving? What we supposed to say to Ezreal?
Tell him that I'll return.
Okay, all right. All right.
And he's gonna walk back and he's gonna look at you and say,
I'm going to lock this room until I'm sure that Azrael recognizes me as king.
I don't think he even recognized Balra, one of them says.
No, he didn't. He didn't recognize Balboa at all.
Okay, so I kind of disregard that. I still have the kid, and like, so he's kind of dazed. Whatever. I'm going out the door.
One last word from probably the eldest looking goblin in the group, scar torn and raggedy with a white beard.
It's good to see the prince has returned.
Don't we think we
That
should take
one.
that one? Yeah.
The one in front, getting walked past by the new king.
Oh no, I wanted him to go out the door before me.
He walks out
Yeah.
towards all these other goblinoids and he goes,
Um, um, uh, um,
You'll be coming with us. So
his skull looks slightly dented in on the top.
I feel like he's retarded, and you're not
the
gonna
kid
get the
does.
information you want. No, the goblin adult one you chose.
Oh, his skull is dented in.
At the top a little bit, yeah, maybe it looks like he got into a scrap with someone. Kind of got a bit of a unibrow going on.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I should bring the older one.
He looks at
Oh.
you and begins shaking his head.
Wait, what is?
He's like shaking his head, no.
like,
Yeah, like in a negative, like no, take me kind of deal.
Okay, let's take the one that we think will actually know something and get out of here.
Oh yeah, we have to be able to talk to him. That's a good point.
He's just trying really hard to get a word out.
I kind of like put a hand on his shoulder. You did fine. Get in there. You. We need information as we go. Come with us.
He looks past you with a sly, devilish grin and raises an eyebrow at you, knowingly, like you guys are in on something, and goes,
yes, small prince.
he has this tattoo on his shoulder of a 5-fingered claw.
That's cool. Actually, everyone. I put the lock. Everyone, come on over here.
Weren't we going to take a child as well?
Well, yeah, we've already got the little
He's currently
kid.
holding the child.
So I'm wanting. I told everybody to go over here, and then I ask quietly to this elder guy, "What do you know about Bulbara reviving?"
She died again, huh?
Yes,
No
and then we
soul.
killed her as she revived.
That dreadful spirit lingers around, possessing body to body as it goes. It'll find another house sooner or later. Doubt that none.
Okay.
It's gonna cruise out how it works. Rumor is, she goes after those with the most golden hearts.
He says with this kind of like disgusted look on his face.
Best be not too pure when that spirit's lingering around.
For the possession.
He nods. He's basically saying that the spirit chooses, the most kind of heart in the vicinity.
That's interesting information. You guys can
Wow.
go to the entrance if you want. I just want to say something to I just want a parting word to the women. So I pull off the...
He looks at you very curiously, like he's trying to figure you out, maybe disillusioned or confused, and he's gonna go walk over and wait his turn over here for the prince.
I take the... Wait, is the lock on this side of the door? The same side as me?
So this lock has a similar deal with a
Okay.
rigid shoved in.
I remove the what's it called?
Make an athletics check for me.
Athletics in order to move the lock?
It's like wedged in with magic. Like it's rigid. It requires
okay.
yeah.
Oh wait. When it doesn't come easily, I will not just keep yanking at it like a fool. Agatha?
Yep, gotcha. She comes over and waves her hand, and the wood undoes itself.
Okay. Oh. Yeah, actually. So I guess we could just roleplay opening the door, saying stuff, and like theater of mind kind of. I open up the door, say to the women that I will return. I'll lock the door until when I'll lock the door until I feel like opening it again. You'll be fine until then.
What will we do to eat you, sire?
Oh, I didn't think of that. Just a minute.
Think about it.
I close the door and I think into the hood. Can I get that half-eaten corpse for these women?
Oh, the Donahues? You're gonna feed them the Donahues?
What are you doing, Buggy?
No, that's fine. Yeah, you can feed them the Donahues. Do it.
I
mean,
guess
they're gonna
somebody
go
would
to
probably respond back into the hood.
And I'm going to say into the hood, if you're going to do that, you might as well save some mimic.
No, we've already got 4 mimics, or 4 goblins stored for it.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, sounds like no
I mean,
objections.
it's a little
So-
fucked up, but they are racist and trying to break out the Milligans, so tough titty itty bitties.
I run over to this door, open it up, get the one that's already partially eaten, run on back, put it in there with them, and
As they crawl forward, they smile and they go,
Sorry for doubting you, sire. We saw you with the humans, and we thought ill of you, but we see you're not like that.
begins eating the corpse.
if Bolbarga returns here, tell her that I want to talk to her. And with that, I'll close the door, not even waiting for a response. But
You do hear a little bit more positivity, having been granted this human. You do hear one of the females go,
No, he looks pretty strong, I think.
I I close the thing, put the lock exactly where it was, and kind of like do my head nod sort of thing to Agatha.
She comes over, places her hand on it, closes her eyes. They open with this blue rimming her pupils, and she speaks out, and it hardens itself against the door.
Okay, all set. Thanks, guys.
Agatha walks up in the hood. She looks over and says, I don't like the vibe of that one.
Okay, so now we're leaving out the way we came. We've got the old man and the dummy child in tow. The youngest one.
Dummy child.
I mean, like, he was sitting down and the other one was like,
Yeah. I was here for all that, but why does that make him a dummy? He's just a baby, right?
yeah, he's probably. Yeah, anyways.
I'll escort the goblin.
Who's that laying there? Is that Calamity?
Me, I didn't want to interrupt all the thing, but this whole time I have been just kind of waiting and prone watching the tracks and this approach area,
Cool.
but I didn't get the chance
As
to say it.
as I approach you, I'm gonna say, "Hey, Cal, you okay?"
Yep, just making sure we don't get snuck up on.
Good work.
And laying down makes it so I'm harder to see and hit. So
She's gonna put out little knuckles and give you a little fist bump.
I'm going to
fist bumper.
I'm going to help people down.
Oh, such a gentleman. Am I gonna be the queen of the goblins? She says jokingly.
You gonna help me too, there, Boogie?
Yeah, I
I
can help you.
hop down.
So,
Oh, when I was
Yeah.
saying people, I was including the goblins. Like, those guys are small.
so I imagine the smallest one is still in your arms. He's not super duper mobile. And then the old man looks at you with your hand out, and his scowl looks disapproving.
Know your friends.
I've got it. And he hops down, just deftly into the water without even touching the rocks.
Nice.
Emus is just following up behind him. We ain't friends yet, bub.
He said that to the old man.
Yeah.
He turns back and looks at you with not much fear in his eyes.
I get a little space between us, and I'm up in the lead. And just for giggles, because I'm in a cave, I want to see if I can yodel. Yodelate, 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 oh. I chuckle to myself.
So, I don't entirely trust the old man. I guess I'm not trying to. I'm not side eyeing him. Like, he's come this far without any issue. But like, I still want to know like all about the goblins and like, you know, there's a ton of different questions that I want to ask. And I want to be talking in common this entire time. And
Okay,
like,
so we're
also,
going
I guess
to we're going to progress the time of the walk with a conversation. I'm assuming the group is not making a stealth roll as they are all kind of questioning this character, or are we rolling a stealth roll and whispering back and forth kind of deal?
Oh no, I'm just
Okay.
walking.
So as you guys walk back towards Rivington, this, you know, you got a little bit of a walk about, yeah. Everything looks pretty similar to how it was. It looks like maybe the corpses of the goblins were moved. Well, no, there isn't any. You took all of them. You took all
They
of
were
them.
moved into our
Yeah.
bags.
Yeah. There's not much of a difference. It's very minute. There might have been a little bit of traffic through here since then, but it's not anything big.
Anything
and-
up with this big old beast?
Nope, still laying. It looks like maybe like a couple leather straps might have been taken off of it. Maybe like a shiny buckler or two from last night.